Welcome to P3 Radio.
The monkey only dances as good as the guy grinding the organ handle.
Brother.
I fly, bro. That is never stopping.
Truck goes to Dwayne.
Cool story, bro.
Footy pajamas.
Hey, genius, it's 2 p.m. Central.
PG3 Radio.
Here's your host, Josh Riley.
Get him off pig, Freddy. Get him off pig.
Richard Mullican.
And as I put you down, my pants ripped.
It's showtime! It's showtime! It's showtime!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of P3 Radio. I'm Richard Mullican, joined by my co-host, the man who says, I've got my mind on my money and my money on my mind, and best friend Josh Briley. Say, hey, Josh.
Well, you can go fuck yourself, Richard Lee. How is everybody else doing?
Starting off hot here, huh?
You're trying to stir the pot.
I'm not trying to stir the pot. I ain't the one that stirred the original pot. I mean, I guess I did choose the company.
Well, I mean, I feel like Doug Gilbert right here. Who do I blame, Richard Lee? Who do I point the finger at? You know, but
yeah.
I mean, it's just money. I'll make some more, right? That's what my mom always said. You spend it, you'll make more.
I just had to do that soda pops for a week.
You want them fucking Jordans, don't you? God damn.
I thought my mom was the only one that guilted me after giving me something that I asked for.
No, it's all Southern women. And it includes wife with head.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I will. I'm not really getting anything out of it, am I? No, but I am. Anyways, man.
Oh, man.
I thought we should use another one bites the dust for our fucking intro. Man,
Yeah?
if we were going to be like this, because it seems like with sponsors, we're not very good at choosing and picking the correct companies, are we?
Yeah.
Because, I
No.
mean, we got pretty much...
We had a wine company that didn't deliver wine to our area.
Well,
We plugged the shit out of them for forever.
Yeah, like 2 years.
Maybe we're just bad at research on our advertisements.
I think we should try to order something that we fuck with.
Yeah.
Maybe they should just send us something. If they say, well, we can't send it to you, we don't send it to your state. Well, fuck off then.
Well, we can't.
But
we can't really advertise.
This, Richard, it's a T-shirt company.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I never thought that there would be this much bullshit involved with trying to get T-shirts made. You know, and we've went on recommendations from other people. Oh,
Right.
yeah, use these people.
Yeah, they're great.
They're great.
Hey, you want to do a little quick read for them?
Yeah, Josh Briley from P3 Radio telling T-Public, you can go fuck yourself. You and all your executives and anybody that handles the shipping and whatnot department.
Even old Gertrude who tapes the boxes up, she can go fuck herself too.
Her and her fucking family can go fuck themselves. But yeah, man, seriously, you talk about disheartening bullshit.
So, all right.
So
this week, I've started on a new sponsorship a campaign. We're going to be more self-sufficient, self-sustaining. Yeah, we're going to be more self-sufficient. We're going to try to sell T-shirts to get advertising money. You know,
and I was trying to do the good Christian thing.
Well, hold
up in our
up.
product.
Yes. So what I did was I went to a sponsor that we've had here.
We've been plugging the fuck out of them for the last 6 months.
Yeah. Maybe even longer than that, but anyways, it was T-Public, and they had this, we had a guy that, BT. Oh, well, let me bring this up while I'm thinking about it too. Go and listen to my interview with BT over on Shooting the Shiznit. You can find that, how you find our podcast. We talked about my wrestling career. It was some good work, I thought, on my part, we talked
you ever
it up
sucked
good.
your own dick? That's what you're doing right now.
Yeah, it's nice. I like it. I'll keep doing it.
You're Lenny Poffo the shit out of yourself.
But yeah, go over there and listen to Shooting the Shiznit. Shooting the Shiznit. I can't talk today.
Man, those guys did that interview were fucking great.
Yeah.
I mean, I wished it was 30 hours long.
I would listen to it.
I know you would.
No, but Shooting the Shiznit, there's a one over there with me. I think it was from last week. I should have promoted this last week, but we recorded early on a Thursday. Me and BT, I think, recorded that on like the Wednesday before or Tuesday. It was one of the days right before we recorded it, and I was confused on when it came out, so that was my fault. But that came out last week. Go and listen to that. Same way you're listening to this. But BT, speaking of him, he told us, he's like, you guys, when we started plugging TeePublic, he said, you guys need to get with TeePublic and make some shirts. And we were like, make some shirts? I was like, oh, they do shirt making? He's like, yeah, just sign up and you can start making shirts.
Well, the gimmick is if you are an artist, you can submit a design, and if, whatever you make off of it, you get a certain cut.
Not much.
Well, yeah, but they don't
we
tell you
learned
that
too.
till,
Yeah,
they don't tell you that till after you get in it.
We'll get there. So I tell Josh, I'm like, hey, I've got this idea for a shirt. And last week I drew it up, and when we do the actual ad for our shirt, we'll tell what it is. Because I don't want to give TeePublic the benefit of knowing what our new shirts are called.
Let me tell you something. TeePublic ain't getting no benefits on shit.
So I told Josh, I said, hey, we got some new shirts, man. I got this great shirt idea. Check this out. And I sent him a link with the shirt to his text message. And he saw it, and I said, I don't know how the money works, and they wasn't really too upfront about how much of a cut we get, and Josh says, well, we're about to find out. And Josh ordered three
Which
shirts.
totaled up to fucking $58.13.
And that's plus tax. Is that shipping too?
That's everything. $58.13 for 3 shirts.
Yes.
Now, one of them was the double XL because I was thinking that at least one fat ass listens to our show. I was going to
What's that supposed to mean?
Like, well,
maybe I wanted to borrow it.
Yeah, I know.
I think I am said fat ass.
But I was going to do the good thing and, have some giveaways and stuff.
I love how you stereotyped our listening audience as just, I know it's just a bunch of you fat fuckers out there.
Probably is. I mean, what do you want me to? You're just pleasantly plump.
I love how you've taken your public speaking skills from your mom. He would have never done this. Y'all are all dumbasses.
Hey, I can't change the truth.
Y'all take care.
Truth is truth.
So anyways,
but more than likely they're overweight.
You order
Cheeto eaters. You overweight Cheeto eaters.
You listen to this with the 2 ice cream sandwiches in your hand right now, ain't you? No, but yeah, you said that. Hey, I ordered
Pick
3
that jaw
shirts.
up, you're drooling everywhere.
Yeah. I ordered 3 shirts, and you were like, it was $58. I was like, oh, cool, $58.
See what kind of cut we get.
That ought to be a pretty decent, substantial cut.
You would think.
And you're like, wow.
You would think.
So I went and looked. How much money would you think? 3 shirts. Even if it was 10%, Josh.
Well, 10%.
10%.
My God.
No, it was 10%. It was slightly more.
We got $2 per shirt.
Yeah, so
Which is
$6 out of the
highway
58.
robbery.
So
highway robbery.
I mean, I get shirts cost like money and you have to pay for certain things.
But you're not the one promoting on your website. We
Right.
pay our artists. We treat our
Right.
artists great.
Right.
And blah, blah, blah.
A great percentage of our money goes to our artists.
Yeah, if you're doing fucking shit for like goddamn Ed Hurley or whatever the fuck it is. I mean, goddamn, if you're just printing shit for your own self, you'd have to sell thousands among thousands for it to even be worth it.
Yeah.
So that was my first strike.
Yeah.
Against TeePublic. I was
made
like, damn, $6.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
You would have to wait, 300 shirts to make $60 or something?
Yeah,
No,
I'm trying to work on the light bill. Y'all motherfuckers giving me fucking, gas station money and shit. Like, what the fuck?
So
know-
okay, so we have to tell what the design is because that makes the whole story even better.
Well, it was a picture of a Ford Bronco, an old Ford Bronco, and it says, truck goes to Dwayne.
Yeah.
Which I thought was hilarious.
I thought it was.
I was going to spot Dwayne a shirt.
This isn't something I even told you about. I just said, hey, this is on our shirt site now. And I just sent it to you. Or no, I did. I sent you the original, and you were like, that's hilarious. Make the truck animated. Because Josh is good with the notes when it comes to designing these things.
Well, I'm going to tell you straight up what looks like a fucking Rest in Peace Boo Boo shirt or a fucking real shirt that you would buy.
Yeah.
And whenever I see a picture, an actual picture of a shirt, that's all I think of. Rest in Peace, insert generic name. and then a fucking real picture of somebody.
Rest
That's
in peace.
all.
Insert generic name. This is how you lost your funeral home job.
I don't give two fucks. It's the truth.
Yeah.
But either way, we collaborated, and I tried to steer you the right way.
Yeah,
Of what
and-
would sell.
So I found
And I sold 3 of them for you.
So I found an animated drawing. I think it was the actual Ford Bronco manual.
Yeah.
Like they had pictures on there, and the way the manual was, it was scanned in such a way that I could take it and recolor it, and I could it was all one color, and it wasn't white and black. It was the black outline, and it was this manila color.
Yeah.
So I took it and I doctored it up. I cropped it. I colored it. I mean, it was just a perfect example of a 1970s Bronco.
But there's one problem, Richard.
And then,
one fucking problem.
Well, okay, so
You're not Ford Motor Company.
apparently,
And we aren't either. And guess who else knew that? Motherfucking T-Public knew that.
so here's the thing.
Not only do they rip off artists,
Yeah.
they're evidently really fucking... Now, I can see why they rip off their artists, because apparently they pay their goddamn quality control people way too much money to pay too much attention to detail. So they're like, oh, goddamn, we'll leave the goddamn shit up for a day.
Yeah.
It was over a day that
Now-
the shit was in the store.
Okay, so imagine having a YouTube account and you putting up something on YouTube and it goes, hey, we've noticed that this violates our terms and service. What do?
They removed the video.
They remove the video, right? What does T-Public do when hey, that looks like a Ford Bronco?
You're not Ford, right?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Your goddamn store's deleted. Your account is deleted. They literally take you to the electric chair and zap your fucking balls off. And then they're like, make another one, bitch.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
That's what pissed me off even more.
There was no warning. It was just
Nothing.
immediate. We assume because we only had 2 shirts up there, and the other one was one our buddy drew for us, so we know that one was original.
Yeah.
So it's no, we had 3. We had our logo from our cover art on there as well, with the wanted poster thing.
I didn't
that
get
we
that
got.
far.
So we had 3 up there. And the only one that we can think of was the Ford Bronco that might have been, copyright infringement.
Well, that's the thing. Seeing how it wasn't like an actual picture,
right.
a photograph of a Ford Bronco, but I guess in theory, those are engineer drawings and shit that somebody associated with Ford Motor Company, they created themselves for Ford.
Right.
I get it. But at the same time, it's not like we're fucking setting the world on fire, selling shirts and shit like that. And goddamn, like I said, they have to be paying their quality control people bukudos of money. That's why they're ripping off their fucking artists. Because it didn't take, like I said, but 24 hours for somebody to notice, hey, this probably ain't their drawing.
Right.
They probably don't own this image.
It was less than 24 hours.
And then by that time, I had already invested, like I said, $58.13.
So the
I
email.
thought I was doing the right thing. I thought I was reinvesting in our venture, and we were going to use those for fucking giveaways and whatnot like that. It was going to be awesome. I was going to mail one to Dwayne, get a laugh.
And here's the funny thing. Our new sponsor does this thing to where we can buy shirts for cost. We don't make a profit off of them, but we can get the shirts made and sent to us that we could give away, which... The new sponsor, if you would have bought those 3 shirts, it would have been $40.
Which is reasonable.
Yeah.
But either way, like I said, T-Public, you dirty fucking bastards. All you did was...
So they
that's
sent
how
us
you
an
run
email.
your company.
They sent us an email that said...
Hey, champ,
hey,
you violated the terms.
You violated the terms and conditions. At this time, we have deleted your store. The orders if you have any orders out there, they're either going to be canceled or... they're not going to be filled.
And you know what I say to that? I say, checkmate, motherfucker. You're a liar. You're fucking liars. Your children are liars. You're pieces of shit. You ain't nothing more than goddamn pine scum. Because what did they do a day after I had placed the order? I called. I did the right thing. I called the bank, and I made sure. I said, hey, I told them the story. I said, look, we have a show where we...
Y'all should listen. It's great.
Anyways, I said, we have a show. We created a store.
Yeah.
I was trying to invest, get some to give away, blah, blah, blah. They shut us fucking down completely.
Because my friend ripped off a picture of a Bronco.
I want to know, has the money been taken away from my bank account? Has it, hopefully it hasn't, because like I said, they shut it down yesterday. So hopefully they didn't take anything out. Oh yeah, they took it out this morning.
Yeah.
You dirty motherfuckers. I said, so not only did you knew
Right.
you wouldn't fucking sell me not one goddamn t-shirt.
Right.
You wasn't sending not one, not two, not three. You wasn't sending shit.
But here's the thing. They didn't know that was your company. They just said that you were ordering the shirt from. Like, that you could have been Joe Blow off the street.
Okay, I get that.
That's what
part,
I'm saying. Like,
but
they were out to just screw anybody.
yeah, because like I said, they knew when they took the money out, the fucking store had already been deleted, Richard.
Yeah.
That's the point I'm getting at.
Yeah.
The store had already been ex-nayed.
And they're not
So-
going to print the shirt that they said was copyrighted.
Right, so you're not selling me a goddamn thing. Not only you fuck me around, you take the money out of my account, knowing you're not selling me anything,
Right.
and then I send an email to their support, and I say, it's come to my attention that this store was deleted for terms violated, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I'm wondering why you've taken this money out. And if you, or I said, I'm hoping that you hadn't taken this money out, because I emailed them before I got in touch with the bank. I said, I'm hoping you haven't removed this money from my funds and my bank account. And if you have, put the shit back. Pretty much is what I said.
Right.
I don't have it in front of me, but that was the gist of it. And they sent me an automatic reply.
Yeah.
Do you know what that automatic reply said?
What did it say?
Due to the current environment and the COVID-19 pandemic, it may be up to 30 days before we return your email. Thanks for shopping with TeePublic.
But it ain't long before they delete your store.
Oh, no, they're on top of that. They're on top of fucking removing your money out of your account and fucking Naziing your goddamn store away. You fucking bastards. Gestapo motherfuckers.
Jeez.
Pieces of shit.
Oh, man.
But at the same time, fuck them, because I filed a dispute with my bank account.
Yeah.
And after I told them the whole spiel about what happened, what was going on, I told it to two different motherfuckers. I went up the food chain. I wasn't fucking around, man. Because like I
talked
said,
to motherfuckers in that bank with a tie on.
that's literally what I was thinking. Bet your ass is wearing loafers and a tie, motherfucker. You the motherfucker.
That's how high command.
You the son of a bitch I want to talk to.
This one has a tie clasp.
Anyways, and I said, hypothetically, do you see any problem with me getting my money back and this not becoming a thing? And she's like, no, I don't.
No.
They screwed you around, blah, blah, blah. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Yeah.
I was like, well, no. Short of giving me my fucking money back, I guess we're good. And, have your nice day and all that. But there has been a renaissance, as you said.
Yeah.
A fucking reemergence of the P3 Radio T-shirt store.
Well, before we get there, I do want to point out one thing that I told you and BT. I said the funniest thing about all of this is that damn Bronco has
the source.
has now fucked you 3 times.
It is the nucleus of my pain.
So, on the first hand, the truck's going to Dwayne. You're not getting that truck. The second is we made a store that got deleted for copyright infringement claims over the shirt that's
assumed.
That's assumed.
Assumed copyright infringement.
Yeah.
Because they didn't tell us a goddamn thing.
Right. So that screwed your store over, which was a source of you making upwards of $10 this next year, even if you sold like 80 shirts.
We take care of our artist, champ.
Here's your $8. And then on the third hand, you lost $58
on the goddamn Bronco shirt.
Yes.
So not only has the Bronco fucked me,
yeah,
I've got fucked around on the merch for the Bronco too.
And here's the funny thing: out of all of this, the most ironic part was you were trying to buy a shirt about a Ford Bronco that wasn't even going to you.
Yep.
That's a 2-2 and a hard 4 right there, ain't it?
Man. Oh, Doc Ellis was pitching to me on that motherfucker.
Oh man. So yeah, Josh, I guess now would be a good time to talk about
you think?
our new sponsors.
Thank God. People that treat people right.
Yeah. It's our brand new sponsors that have all of our great P3 Radio t-shirts that you can go check out right now at tinyurl.com/P3 Radio Tees. P3 Radio Tees. And you're going to get over there, and that's going to be teespring.com. And Josh, what are some of the great shirts you can find over there for supporting P3 Radio?
Well, not only are you going to find just at least, well, I'm counting them, 5 different P3 Radio t-shirts. We got fucking the Josh Briley 5K shirt with the goddamn alligator on the front. We got the Ray J Coke can shirt. My wife thought that was fucking hilarious. I showed it to her. And we have the infamous Truck Goes to Dwayne Bronco shirt. Now listen, Teespring, if you have a problem with selling this shirt, send us a fucking email, please. We will take this son of a bitch down, and we'll never sell it again.
But all of these shirts are inspired by either our logo or something we talked about on the show. We've got the Josh Briley 5K shirt. We've got a P3 Radio ECW style shirt.
Can we say that?
ECW style. It's inspired. It's
in
not,
vein of
it's
ECW.
It's a parody. Parodies are completely legal.
There you go.
But yeah, teespring.com. You can get there to our store by going to tinyurl.com/P3 Radio Tees. And like I said, and the shirts are cheaper than TeePublic, and we get a bigger cut. So go over there right now.
Everybody wins.
Everybody wins. Pick up your shirt at tinyurl.com/P3 Radio Tees. Once again, that's tinyurl.com/P3 Radio Tees. A little bit of Pantera. I've heard Pantera more in the past 3 days than I have in the past 4 years, Josh.
I don't really hang out with you anymore, so I can feel it.
Well,
One of my favorite fucking bands growing up, man. Absolutely love it.
Oh, they're great. I just hadn't heard them. They stopped making new stuff. I don't know what happened.
Don't even go there.
Well, we're playing this for a reason, Josh.
I'm broken. $58.13 is all I had in my goddamn account.
That's why you had to go talk to a man with a tie on at the bank.
That's what my daddy always, you find you a man with a damn silk tie. You won't get business done, boy.
No, that's satin. You don't have to go on and fuck off. Oh, man. But no, I mean, last week we recorded early because I was going stir crazy, and this is going to piss a lot of people off. I decided that I was going to leave the confines of my city.
Who's that pissing off?
I mean,
besides your banker.
No. I mean, I'm sure that there's some people out here, if they knew I went on a trip last week, they'd go completely ballistic.
Well, they should go completely ballistic because I go to work every goddamn day and I make goddamn car parts. How essential is that shit, really?
I make car
Ain't nobody
parts
buying
for the American
shit.
working man.
There's nobody buying fucking cars right now, Richard. Nobody. Everybody's afraid to invest right now. But gotta be there.
Well,
the goddamn Ford Econo van or whatever has to have their goddamn window valance. I mean, goddamn.
Well, last week, we packed up on Friday, and I took a day off of work.
Did you tell them, I ain't coming in tomorrow? Fuck you.
I'm leaving town. I've had this.
I might be back. I might not.
I've been back to work for 2 solid weeks now. Tired of wearing something other than basketball shorts. I didn't
even have to shower with the fucking Zoom meetings. Y'all motherfuckers making me come in.
Well, we're still doing like the Zoom type meetings in the morning. We're not doing like in-person meetings.
Really?
Right now. Yep.
So you aren't a legit worker yet.
Well, I mean, I've been going back into work, but there are days where if I don't have anything pressing to go in, I can work from home. I feel like that's coming to an end too sweet, but But yeah, I took off after being at work a full 2 weeks. I said the hell with this and took a day.
Yeah, I found out I got like 11 vacation days left,
Yeah.
so that's coming too.
Or did they roll over?
No, they actually gave us more because
Wow.
we missed 2 holidays during the pandemic. And you know,
Hey, you know when you were supposed to be here, but you weren't, but those are holidays? We'll go ahead and give those back to you.
hey, well,
I take them. Why not?
I ain't gonna give them back.
But we
Ain't gonna
packed
Greg the shit.
we packed up Friday and we ran out to Chattanooga. And dude, Chattanooga acts like there wasn't even a virus. Like we wouldn't have known anything was different unless we wouldn't have seen like maybe workers, not people walking around on the street, workers just wearing
You know,
masks.
like wrestlers.
Yeah.
They's working there.
Like-
Hey, come buy my shit.
You go into a restaurant and it would like people would be wearing masks. But
Right.
I mean, other than that, there was no indication that there was ever a problem. It was nice.
I haven't seen too much of the taped things on the floors at stores as much as
Yeah.
I was because I went to Walgreens right before I came over here.
Yeah.
And
They're just like, pull that shit up. Nobody's listening anyway.
well, no, they used to have like your little taped X's, and stuff like that.
How far you could stand apart and
and the
everything.
directional of the aisles and all that. And
Right.
guess what? All that shit's pulled up. The only thing, like you're talking about, the only thing different is some of the workers are wearing masks.
Yeah.
That's it. Which, depends on who you ask. Maybe it's almost over. Excuse me. Maybe it's not. I'm not a goddamn doctor or a politician, so I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I think for the most part, like everybody was just getting ready to go outside and do something.
But it is kind of scary. You know how you see like your fucking like I seen Memphis yesterday. They had on their Channel 5 news website, and it said that I think it was like 400 new cases or some
Yeah.
shit. Which,
But here's the thing, dude, and here's where I'm getting kind of like a little agitated. You know, we talked about this a couple weeks ago. We had 8 cases here in Madison County that were tested, and then they, for some reason or another, they retested them. And the first test was positive. The next 2 were negative.
it's kind of weird how that works.
And they were like, the CDC, the local CDC here had to, or the health department had to come out and go, no, we had 8 false positives. Which
how do
makes
you get
me
a false?
That's what I'm wondering. And it's like, that makes me wonder, is like, well, how many false positives have we had out there? You know what I mean?
And it's not like the Ultimate Warrior said, "No, I did not have steroids. That was a false positive."
Yeah.
No.
I mean, and here's the thing too. It's like, we know that they're not testing everybody twice. Because if you've seen that test, I don't even want to take it once. It
Hell
looks
no.
painful as hell.
It kind of makes you wonder if all those jackoffs in Washington are really taking them daily. I mean, can you imagine like somebody rubbing motherfucker, you're not putting that up you're not touching my brain once a day. Fuck you.
But anyways, we started about all that because of I went to Chattanooga. And dude, it was just, I mean, it was really nice just to.
What is
like,
in Chattanooga?
They have mountains and lakes and rivers.
I know, but is that see, I've been somewhere close, like the Cape Canaveral or the caverns and shit.
Right.
And we did some
Ruby
kinda,
Falls is there.
Yeah, we went
Yeah.
to Ruby Falls and shit like so. Maybe that was
Yeah.
where I went back in
Yeah.
the day.
Yeah.
But I was thinking that was Knoxville, where all the Smoky Mountains and shit.
Well, they travel down. The Smoky Mountains is not just
Well,
one small area.
I understand, but I'm saying the tourist hotspot here,
Yeah.
like where everybody goes and they have the big.
Well, no, you have Knoxville, Gatlinburg, and at the bottom, towards the bottom of the mountain ridge, is Chattanooga. So
Okay.
Chattanooga is like a stone's throw away from like Huntsville.
Alabama.
Yeah.
Well, see, there was one place, like I said, I can't remember exactly where I was back in the day. It was like 11, but I wanted to go to a fucking baseball game. They took me to the goddamn mountains. Imagine that. But they were like, "You can see Georgia. You can see Georgia
Yeah,
from here."
that's-
There's a place where you can look, and there's a
That's Lookout Mountain.
Lookout Mountain.
That's
and
in
you
Chattanooga.
Can, and you can see like 5 or 6
Yeah.
different states or whatever.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool.
I'm not a mountain man, by the way. Have
I
you ever
didn't- you
drove
don't look
around
like
in?
one.
Have you ever drove around in the mountains?
You don't make moonshine?
No.
Oh.
It's the damnedest scariest thing ever. Because you'll get to like these roads. It's like it'll say 6% grade incline here or decline here, And you'll have trucks like overheating trying to climb up we saw 2 trucks have to pull over with flashers on trying
Hell
to go
no.
up this damn mountain. And as you're going down, you never hit the gas and you get up to like 70 miles per hour.
Fuck. Dude, yeah.
Like-
I've never been a driver
Yeah.
in the mountains. Like I said,
Yeah.
the last time I went, I was 11 years old.
Yeah.
I don't remember too much about it.
Well, I got a buddy that lives there now, and we went to see him, and we went the route that was on my wife's GPS. And dude, this route was going up the mountain. It would be like you're turning, you're going, and then all of a sudden the road just loops around like one of these damn rally car races or something. Like seriously, like a full 180-degree turn.
Like a goddamn Ken Block drift turn.
Right. And I mean, you're looking and you're like, well, there's the side of the mountain. We were so car sick. And then when we got to the house that we were hanging out at, my buddy's house, they were like, which way did y'all come up? And we were like, we told them the way, and they're like, oh, hell, don't go that way. Go back this other way. It's just basically one straight shot down the mountain. And we're like, well, fuck, now you tell us. But no, I mean, I said that because East Tennessee, Gatlinburg is there. And Gatlinburg actually has this area of Gatlinburg has this thing called a sky bridge. And the sky bridge in Gatlinburg Monday cracked. And
Holy shit.
I mean, where the sky bridge is, right?
Yeah, I walked across it, but they didn't have the glass gimmick on the bottom. Whenever I went across it, it was just a little shaky-ass bridge. You could either do that, or you could do the stone bridge right beside it.
Well, we'll go into the story real quick. It says, a visitor of the Gatlin Skylift Park must have been missing baseball season Monday. The Gatlin Sky Bridge was shut down when a guest attempted a baseball-style slide across the glass. Leave it to somebody in fucking Tennessee, right? Hey, baby, watch this.
Or some jack-off from Georgia.
Like, everybody that crosses this thing is like, they're already on pins and needles anyways. They're like,
there's those people.
Yeah, I'm about to shit my pants because I'm looking straight down at this mega drop. And so this guy is just like takes it to the extreme and does a baseball slide. The slide caused a noticeable crack in the protective layer of one of the 3 glasses panel on the Sky Bridge. Reports of the Knoxville Sentinel says, which is part of the USA Today network. Why did they have to tell us that? But either way, the incident occurred at approximately 8:30 p.m. The attraction closed for repairs, which are expected to be completed earlier Tuesday, with normal operations resuming. How would you like to be the first people on that bridge?
All right, we're going to try this out now.
Go ahead and get on it, Gary.
You ain't got a dog you can send on this motherfucker first? Oh, shit.
We done lost 3 Labradoodles. We think we got it now, though. Oh, man. But no, dude, I thought about that, and I was like, all the crazy stuff that goes on that you don't even think about. Yeah, the Sky Bridge is nearly 700 feet long, making it the longest pedestrian suspension bridge in North America. It opened May 17th, 2019. The structure features 3 5x5 panels. At its center, the glass has 3 layers, with the upper layers serving as the protective layers, and the bottom one's just a oh fuck layer.
Here's my thing. It's barely been open a year.
Yeah.
Barely been open a year. How are you if you're the engineer? Like, damn, I didn't expect some dickhead to Ricky Henderson across that motherfucker.
We're going to have to add a sign now that says no cleats. Fuck. Where's the money coming out for that budget?
I bet he don't get another job as an engineer, though, because it's like, look at your work. It ain't even been a year.
I would think involuntary manslaughter might be my more concern, not another job. But no, man. I mean, they have one of these in like the Sears Tower too. You can, in Chicago, you can like stand out there and it's like a little glass box on the side of this tower, and you can see how far down you would fall if this glass broke. But that's just something like this is bound and determined to happen. You know what I mean? One day they're going to break, but
depending on how many planes you have and all that, and who designed it, depending on the company that designed it. I mean, they could have those banker glass gimmicks or whatever, but I don't know. Yeah. I mean, they probably just use some cheap shit.
Well, hey, Josh, about 2 months ago, we got a call. We didn't get a call. We got an email that on our SoundCloud account that we completely goofed on. And it was this guy that, he had sent us a list of his songs. His name is, I always want to say Josh because I'm a Tennessee Vols fan. But it's Elijah Dobbs. not Josh Dobbs, but Elijah Dobbs. He had sent us over this clip of some of his music, and we're going to play one real quick. One of the ones that we liked that from the list, but we felt bad because it was 2 months ago that he sent us this in, and dude, I felt really bad because we never got an email or a notification saying, hey, you've got a message. We just clicked on it and there was 3 messages in our SoundCloud that we hadn't seen, and 2 of them were spam. Hey, you want a bigger dick and more listeners? Yes and yes.
Who doesn't?
So when we saw it, we were like, oh, cool. We'll check this out. And we've got him on the show. But real quick, I want to play this song that he had wrote. It's called Mr. Promoter Man. Check this out real quick.
I've been training in this business since I was 13. I've worked the door, done security, and loved to referee. I even kicked on training when they told me I was no good. Said I'd never be no wrestler, but I always knew I would. And I never played much ball growing up beside at home, watching Raw and Nitro while my family all got stoned. Dear Mr. Promoter Man, won't you book me for a show? I don't need a big PO, just a place to work, place to do my thing. To get up in there and hear a crowd scream, I'll do anything. I need to bump and roll around, and to work that crowd will make them get loud. Yeah, I need them buzz. I ain't got 6-pack abs and I ain't flipping, but I got some decent arms, and I know how to get hate. Ain't no mark for going over or about. I'll just show up to your show early and ask, how can I help? Dear Mr. Promoter Man, won't you book me for a show? I don't need a big PO, just a place to work, place to do my thing, and to get up in the rain, hear a crowd scream, I'll do anything. Yeah, I need to fuck and roll around, and to work that crowd will make them get loud. Yeah, I need that buzz.
All right, and that was Mr. Promoter Man by Elijah Dobbs. And right now on P3 Radio's hotline, we have Elijah joining us. How's it going, man?
Man, P3 Radio, it feels good. Feels good to be here, bud.
Yeah, I mean, we've had some scheduling issues on our end, and life got in the way last week. But man, I'm glad me and Josh here are glad to have you on. Man, we feel really bad about missing your email 2 months ago.
Oh man, you know what? Things happen. There's always a time and a place for each and everything that happens, and it's the time for us to link up and love of wrestling and comedy, obviously.
Yeah. So yeah, we were hoping, okay, and I know this is going to sound bad, like me and Josh were listening to this song, and like we were hoping it was more of a comedy base, but I was looking at Josh and I'm like, there's a lot of people that this might be real. We don't really know this guy.
See, that's the way, that's what I want, because what's so funny is like, I want it, I feel like it falls under comedy because some parts are comical, but what's really funny is how much people in wrestling and around wrestling, and even people that aren't even in wrestling, just fans, how much they love it. And it can be pretty silly sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm from Arkansas, so I always listen to country music. I'm not the best musician or best singer, but I've always heard these old outlaw country songs and just thought of wrestling, because these guys are out there on the road and shit like that. I thought, man, it'd be funny to relive some of that stuff through some shitty old country music, just a guy on a guitar. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I think the part that got me the most, because, you know, like I said, I spent years in wrestling, and the one that got me the most is you would always see this one guy. I had this one guy in mind when I heard this song, and you would always see this typical pear-shaped guy. He showed up at a show, and, you know, he'd be there for like 7 hours before the doors opened. He's standing out the front. And, you know, he'd buy a ticket first, and then he'd get in, and he'd be like, well, you know, I trained a little bit over in Blytheville, or, you know. I did,
yep.
And, you know, I don't mind. I don't mind refereeing if you want me to referee. I'll manage whoever you want me to. And he's like, well, okay, you know. And then he gets out there and takes all the heat.
You know, the guy who can do anything.
Right. But yeah, man. So, but we enjoyed it. Like I said, I played that song. I kind of reworked it a little bit to, cause when we played it back before, we had a little echo. So I reworked it a little bit here and spent some time like making it to where it didn't sound bad, like echo wise on ours. And, when I pulled the echo out, I'd listened to it about 6 times. And last week when I was on vacation, I was just found myself walking around town going, "Dear Mr. Promoter Man."
Oh yeah, dude, I've been walking around work. I ain't got 6-pack abs and I ain't flipping, baby.
You just got to be honest. The truth always gets.
I think we lost you there for a minute.
All right, you there, buddy?
Yeah, we're here. I don't know if it's on our end or your end, but we lost you. Yeah, you said the truth. What now?
The truth always gets over. You know, if it's something someone can really relate to and they've had that same thought or they've been through it, it'll always get over. And
so now
relatability.
Right. So have you been, like, I'm guessing you've been in the wrestling business for a while?
Yeah. Most of these songs are about myself, and I just have to like get it out there, you know, because I started filming videos at wrestling shows around the age of, I got my first camera, I was like 11 or so. And
right.
There isn't a time in my life where wrestling wasn't the main thing. Like I didn't play sports growing up and none of that shit, you know? So like, it was always wrestling, and then found a place around here, completely changed it, you know?
Right.
Like, oh wow, possible to do this.
Yeah, man. So I don't know what's going on with our phone connection here, but yeah, do you still have our Skype login?
Yeah.
Well, not our log. Hopefully, you don't have our Skype login. Do you still have our Skype name? It might be easier to do a Skype call in. So you got into wrestling, and from the story that I could kind of piece together, you were kind of like the guy singing the Mr. Promoter Man song, you know, with the refereeing, and you started wrestling when you started training, and then you said you had a match after 10 matches.
Yeah, man. It was really just it was long, and the thing is that I always wanted to wrestle, but at some point when you're around the show so much, you understand that there's other jobs that need to be done, and a lot of shows have a hard time keeping like a constant referee. So most of the time, referees will either be a trainee or this random guy. It's hard to keep like a good referee around, and for a long time, like a referee was needed more than me to wrestle. Like maybe I could go out there and put on a shitty match and fucking get beaten this and that, but I'm not really helping the show. And I always want to help the show out. You know, because if there's no show, then we ain't gonna have our wrestling fun and shit. So the guys that brought me into the business, they really made me be grateful for every position that I could have. And man, I've broke down many rings, set them up, set up chairs, showed up early, and that's just the love. That's the love for it, you know.
Well, that's awesome, man. Yeah. Are you working with any promotions right now?
As of right now, I'm from Arkansas, and there's not too much running around here, but I got a show coming up in July. I can look up the date. The only thing I really have booked is Pawcade, and it's in Salem, Indiana, July 11th. That's the only thing I'm working right now. That's the only thing I have actually booked. But and I'm reffing that show, so I'm just taking it as it goes. You know, we got all this shit going on out here in the world, and everybody's trying to be safe and do their own stuff and this and that. But I've really got my wrestling fix out through these songs, and I'm doing creative shit like that. So it's that's all I got going on right now.
Yeah, I mean, and that's been the biggest thing with this whole COVID stuff that's been going on. It's pretty much destroyed local wrestling, but I feel like it's on the verge of coming back. And if somebody wants to get a hold of you to book you for a refereeing event or a show, who do they need to get a hold of, and how they get a hold of you, man?
Oh man, well, I'm on Twitter at sleazy10. It's SLEEZYE 10 numerical. And you can hit me up on there, or Elijah Dobbs, my first and last name, Elijah Dobbs at gmail.com. And you just get a hold of me on there. I got a YouTube channel. I have a Sleazy E Wrestling. Look that up. I got that. Elijah Dobbs channel with a bunch of old shit that I used to film. But if you type in Sleazy E Wrestling on YouTube, you'll find all my shit, songs, matches, dumb shit and stuff. So that's pretty much it if you're trying to get a hold of the sleazeball here, man.
Well, that's awesome, man. And like I said, once again, we are sorry for keeping you holding for like 2 months without messaging you back. We're totally not that type of show.
Never thought that, man. That's just kind of how the game is. You got to put as many hooks out there, and if people buy it, they don't. Like you guys found me, and I found you at the perfect timing, man. I believe that's the way the universe works, and honestly, I'm just grateful to be able to talk to you guys on your show, and you guys allowing me to have your platform to put my weird-ass wrestling songs out there. So, honestly, gratitude is all mine for you guys having me here.
Hey, before we let you go, man, we did notice that you were friends with a mutual friend of ours and did a show. We couldn't find the show, but Gene Jackson was actually how we got a hold of you.
Gene, me and Gene's been we've been scheming on some stuff, man. I've followed Gene for a while now, and he's one of the guys that I saw around here that would get comedy stuff over and really just like do it as a comedy thing, he's doing this because he understands comedy and this and that, and he just gets it. And I followed him for a while, and I think I've seen him stuff over the years and this and that, but we really just hit it off here recently and was able to share our minds and realize we're both basically on the same shit, trying to do good wrestling stuff that's funny, because there's so many different platforms within wrestling, and we're both used to all of them because you really have to do everything to get into the business. But if you want to do something like if you're trying to be niche or do deathmatch or comedy or these different types, genres of wrestling, you have to go through everything else to be able to maybe just do that, I believe. Right. And we linked up, man, and Gene's a good dude, man, and he does some good shit, and I'm glad to be scheming on some stuff. Like, I'd like to mention some things. We got a couple of things in the works, but yeah, Gene's a good dude, man.
Yeah, we're going to try to have him on, I think, next week, if scheduling and everything permits. It's like we do our show we kind of do our show like a pickup basketball game is what we
absolutely.
We kind of have a set of things we want to talk about, and then sometimes those things don't get talked about at all. We spend 30 minutes talking about turds.
Yeah, I heard you guys talking about bridges and stuff whenever I first called in. I'm like, what the fuck's really going on here? And I started laughing. I was like, man, these are the guys. And then I was like, I don't know, man, they're really into these bridges and shit. And I heard you guys use the term gimmick, and I'm like, all right, I'm okay, I'm fine.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah, the county we live in, ironically enough, is Madison County. So for a while, we were thinking about naming the show Bridges of Madison County. No, I'm just joking about that.
We were talking about Big Money Richard's extravagant vacation last weekend.
Wouldn't it be funny? That would be the ultimate prank, to tell somebody, hey, call into our show, and then just send them a number for a bridge enthusiast show. And
I'm not sure that's a tap market yet.
It could be it. Let's talk bridges. Getting over it with Josh and Richard.
We'll get that T-shirt store over like a motherfucker.
We've always had them, and hopefully we'll have them. So fuck, man. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, fuck ferries. Am I right? and I'm talking about the boats, not the the boats. I'm talking about the boats.
Things, man, if you really want to get down and dirty.
Yeah. Well, man, once again, go check out his stuff. All the markets he said, and if you want, man, hit him up for a refereeing gig. You want to get local wrestling back in. I know we got promoters listening, but man, Elijah, great talking with you, and man, just keep in touch with us. Let us know if we can help you in any way.
Hell yeah, brother. And if you need someone to shoot the shiznit with you, bud, bring me on. And I appreciate you guys having me. I appreciate your help and everything like that. And I'm sure our paths will cross again.
Oh, definitely. Well, once again, Elijah Dobbs, thanks for being a part of P3 Radio Day, man.
Rock and roll. Happy Father's Day. Take it easy. Take it sleazy.
Appreciate it, man.
Hey, man.
Well, that was really cool, man. Getting to know some local people and some local names and everything else in the wrestling business.
And usually, I wish I would have asked him, was he a tape trader and if he had any rare shit, but we'll send him an email on that one. It's personal business.
If he's listening back, it's,
P3Radio1@gmail.com if you have any good shit.
Are you a tape trader?
It'd be like a DVD or a file trader now, but I'm always looking. So.
Well, I mean, you got to be careful when you ask for file trading nowadays. That was a sweet edit into that. I didn't even edit it. That was natural. Is this your favorite song of all time?
We used to call whenever your one porta potty at the job site was out of shit paper and you had to like go to the other one to wipe your ass, you'd have to do the disco duck. That's what we called it. I was like, damn, did you do the disco duck to the other one?
Who are these?
I threw the rest of the paper in the blue water.
Who are these phoning it in porta potty attendants that aren't stuck in the porta potties with?
Well, sometimes you have assholes like me that'll just throw the roll in the blue water just so the next person can't wipe his ass and have to disco duck his ass into the next one to get it. Duck has a bumpy chest.
How did Rick Dees get away with doing the Donald Duck voice? But we can't sell a fucking Bronco on a t-shirt.
I don't know what's going on with that.
Fuck you, T-Public.
I think I got that out of the way very early on. But fuck you again. Man. Fuck you, fuck everybody in your house. I'd bang that disco chick.
Oh, I'm sure you would. You probably do the duck too, Josh. You got a problem. Oh, man. But I wanted to play this, Josh.
Hello, Donna.
I wanted to play this one.
Why is there a cop messing with her? I'd beat him up for her.
Donna Summer.
She was hot back in the day.
Donna Summer. That dude now
was
does.
Bruce Jenner?
No, that's Rick Dees. Oh. He now has like a Rick Dees in the Weekly Top 40.
Yes.
You've heard that.
Because one of my favorite, lost my fucking thought.
There you go.
Richard Marx.
You got it.
Richard Marx came out with some new shit back.
Yeah, he's been coming. No, he's got some stuff out now.
Well,
like he keeps continuously, and he's wrote a lot of songs you'd probably know.
Yeah, but he performed "When You Loved Me" on Rick Dees' weekend YouTube channel.
I thought you were gonna sound his dick.
It was on Rick Dees' weekend show or whatever.
Rick Dees in the Weekly Top 40.
He has a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
To where he shows everything that happens in the studio.
Huh.
And that was one of my go-tos back about 2011, 2012, where I would go and watch that video if I wanted to hear that acoustic version of Richard Marx's "When You Loved Me" or whatever. But yeah, Rick Dees, man.
I think we're finding out that Josh Brawley is a huge Richard Marx fan.
He's pretty good.
He is a good. I like Richard. This would have been an artist that I felt like that you would have made fun of me for listening to.
No.
Really?
Your Third Eye Blind, Sister Hazel,
what's the
you
know
Hootie
that
and the
Richard
Blowfish
Marx
bullshit.
has wrote like boy band songs, right?
Well, he's making money, so fuck. Yeah. I'd write a boy band song.
You would?
Hell yeah, I'd be in a boy band.
What would it be about? Would it be about the
dicks?
love from above? So yeah, about dicks. From your perspective, the love from above.
Quit playing games with my heart. That's all it was a dick song.
Yeah. Well,
I'm just trying to fuck you.
Yeah, that's pretty much all boy band
heart.
songs are. Name another one. Let's see if we can break it down.
Let's see what we got. Tearing Up My Heart.
Yeah.
When I'm with you.
It's all
when
about
we are
that
apart.
pussy.
I feel it too.
Yeah.
Because I'm janking it to you.
Yeah.
And
you gotta put on some salve because it's chapped.
It's gonna be May. I don't know. Maybe that's about a dick. We're getting pussy too.
All of it
All
is.
that I do Never enough for you.
You know a lot of boy band songs. I'm impressed.
Well, I had a lot of girlfriends. Girls like that shit.
Did you ever do a mock dance in front of them?
No.
Just to, oh, they like that shit. How would you do that dance, Joshua?
Naked.
Probably use my dick as a guitar.
Hula hooping. Have another hula hoop on my gimmick.
Well, the dick
All
would.
that I do.
To be honest, the dick would be a guitar. It'd be
Shake
more like a
enough for
ukulele.
How would you know?
Man, we've been all over the place on this show. When Mr. Dobbs listens back to this, he's like, bridges and dicks?
Why not?
Bridges and dicks. And if your name's Ray J, your dick is a bridge. So, oh, man.
Bridges of Madison County. What the fuck you think it was about?
Yeah. I'm just thinking about how funny that would be to give somebody a call-in number for like a local show. Like,
so,
they
civilengineers.com here. We're in Madison County inspecting the fucking Fork Deer River Bridge. If you got a bad report about a bridge in your county, call us in. Let us know.
Oh, man. But the reason why we played the disco song, Josh, we are approaching 89, 99, 2009. 2019.
Oh,
41
years. It took you that long. 41.
30 days have September, April, June, and November. Coming up in July. Since we don't have baseball and you're a baseball fan, we're going to talk a little baseball right now. We're going I love how we both said the same thing but different things. You were like, I don't want to talk about baseball. At the same time, I'm saying, we'll talk a little baseball right now.
That's really pissing me off.
We'll talk old baseball. How's that sound?
That's fine.
All right, so we've got two stories here, and one of them disco related, one of them is not. Which one do you want to hear first?
Well, I think it'd be the one you have pulled up right now.
Okay. My dick? Oh, 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 it's my dick. You ever heard that? Oh, man.
Never believe it's not so. It's my dick.
Oh, you stop singing. All right, so this one's from an ESPN show. We won't play all of it.
It wasn't originally on ESPN.
No. No. No.
Hell to the now.
So I'm sure they'll do a good job building. We'll just play it. They'll build up the story and everything, right?
Yeah, because they're an actual production company.
July 12th, 1979. A twilight doubleheader at Comiskey Park. The White Sox versus the Tigers. Between games, 24-year-old Steve Dahl, popular disc jockey.
Could they have gotten a better
Rock
pitcher
Station, Loop 98,
for?
would take the.
Dang it, pause. Could they have gotten better pitchers for Steve Dahl?
Ooh, he looks like everything but a doll.
And apparently Steve Dahl was a huge, he was like one of the original shock jocks.
He's probably a fucking huge Quaalude dealer looking by his appearance and his eyes.
Yeah, the rumor is that Howard Stern got a lot of his stuff from Steve Dahl.
Ooh, he's a fucking ugly son of a bitch. I can see why he's a face for radio.
It's Father's Day, so Josh had to make that dad joke.
Look at him.
Well, I mean, I didn't have any dad jokes other than my dad.
Your dad is a joke.
That was the joke, Josh.
The joke was you thought he might come back.
The joke was, the best prank ever was me holding that baseball glove, waiting on him to round that corner and play catch with me. Best
right
prank
back.
ever.
Be right back. Hold what you got.
You didn't mean soon. I said directly. I said I'd be back directly. That's a shirt. Calvin.
I'll be back directly.
We'll do the quote. I'll be back directly. Calvin. Oh, here we go.
Field at the head of his so-called anti-disco army to blow up thousands of disco records.
Every day I would play a disco record and drag the needle across it, and scratch it and then blow it up. But I tapped into something. There's an undercurrent of hatred for disco.
In a few minutes!
He's got an army helmet on the middle of the center field.
We're going to attempt the world's largest disco demolition!
Admission that night was less than $1. If you all
Admission was less than $1.
All you had to bring was a disco record.
Jeez.
Also contributed an album.
We have people come, 98 cents, you get in, bring a disco record,
Boom.
Unusual promotion.
Now, who was the judge? Like, what if you snuck in like a fucking, Placido Domingo fucking opera record or something? Is there
Right.
somebody? Well, this ain't disco, motherfucker. Take that back. Give me $2 to get in. Like,
Yeah.
who was doing that?
I don't know. And you would think that
How do we
this-
know it wasn't a bunch of Patty Loveless bullshit
Yeah.
that was blew up?
Yeah, I mean, and here's the thing, or how do you know that the record that was actually in the sleeve was the actual record?
I didn't see no sleeves. I just saw regular records. That
But this
guy
is
had.
like an old wrestling trick to sell more gimmicks.
The Burt Prentice Easter egg.
Yeah, no. This is the gimmicks that the 8x10s of the heel. The heel comes out and goes, he's selling the 8x10s, and he sells one to a kid, and the kid rips it up. And the heel gets mad, like, don't you rip up my pictures? Well, he's already sold it. He don't give a damn what you do to it. But then more fans come up to buy the pictures to rip them up in front of him.
I've never seen a heel merch table.
You've never? No, it's
Never
it's
seen
an old thing where if a guy was turning or he still had merch and he still wanted to get rid of push that merch, he would come up and he would sell like pictures or whatever, and they would destroy his merch in front of him after they bought it.
That's cool.
So,
I've never heard of that.
So it's like if he had extra merch laying around, or if he just wanted to try to sell merch, they'd rip up pictures of him. Well, you've already paid me by $5 for it. What do I care what you do with it? You
Right.
just paid me to rip up my photo.
Hmm.
It's an old carny trick, but yeah, I mean, this is the same thing with disco. If they're destroying all these disco albums, someone had to buy them.
I think that was cleansing your palate to get into the 80s and do the 80s right.
Yeah. Well, this was 1979, so yeah.
Disco was about done.
I told you that, my mom's graduation was in 1979.
What'd they do?
Well, they had the phrase, their senior quote was smoking reefer, drinking wine, we're the class of 79.
Oh, yeah.
That's a pretty badass quote, though.
Hell yeah. They print it in the yearbook?
I don't know.
Back in the set, well, they had fucking smoking sections at school.
All things went in the 70s. I think I could get
They passed
by
out Quaaludes at graduation.
if somehow I could have access to the internet and go back into time. I would love the 70s.
Oh, yeah.
70s and 80s. I would love that time.
What I remember of the 80s, it was badass.
Yeah.
Badass.
Here we go.
Nothing new at Comiskey in the late 1970s. White Sox owner Bill Veeck, one of the few owners enshrined in Cooperstown, was baseball's P.T. Barnum. It was Veeck who commissioned Comiskey's exploding scoreboard.
Exploding scoreboard.
So
So what we're gonna do? We're
you've
gonna
got
get
a
the
Vince
Tiger Skull
McMahon
up
owner.
We're gonna blow the motherfucker up.
Like they showed pictures of what they did in between like innings and stuff here, and they had people like limboing under a fire stick and stuff like that. And,
Hot bitches balancing swords on their fucking heads.
Like you can imagine the baseball owner. Come on now, balance that sword on your tits. We got to get the kids involved in baseball. But
Gotta draw them to the park.
Yeah.
There'll be titties.
Watch this boring ass game.
It's great when you're live. I mean, it's great when you're watching TV.
when somebody's alive watching it.
It was Veeck who in 1951 sent Eddie Goodell to the plate.
I love it. I love it. The smallest strike zone ever.
He's a little American.
Smart. You can't strike him out.
His on base percentages was outstanding.
Seriously.
Till that little motherfucker won't get up there and swing.
You can't strike him out.
He was good for one pitch runner.
I mean, like, dude, there are maybe 3 pitchers in the league at that time that could have legit struck him out.
It's a 2-inch window.
That's what I'm saying. Nolan Ryan, Doc Ellis on a good day, and like goddamn, who was some other good ones? Well, your wife turns the water on.
Yeah, some of those other good pitchers we got back then.
I can't. I'm drawing a blank. Oral Hershiser wasn't there yet.
Was Babe Ruth pitching then? I don't know.
He was a pitcher.
I don't know baseball though. I know he was a pitcher. I just don't know baseball that well.
Drunk son of a bitch.
All right.
By 1979, his son Mike was running the White Sox promotions department.
He's like, what is this disco demolition? I said, we're just going to blow up some disco records, and there's a guy in town who's red hot, and It'll draw some people. He was like,
I really did think this is going to be embarrassing. At most, there will be 5,000 people that will show up for this thing, and I'm going to look like an idiot.
He was worried that even if we doubled
He'd
their
love some
attendance,
shows around
take it
here
to
then. He's like, I only got 5,000 people in the building. I'm a fucking moron. Tell that to the crowd of 27 that shows up to some local shows.
Yeah.
12,000. Stadium still don't look empty. Little did we know.
this is now officially the world's largest anti-disco rally.
There's throngs of people coming. There's throngs, and they're all carrying albums.
The late Bill Beck told me Sox Park had 70,000. First time Satchel Paige pitched.
70,000 at just a normal July baseball game.
98 cents per. I mean, but you got them in. So.
Yeah.
Had to be 70,000 people.
That's $70,000 on the gate, though. That's not too terrible.
How they got in.
You could see people coming through the portholes out in left field. There was holes cut out in the wall, and people were coming up through the holes.
People were swiping pops out of my tray, and there wasn't anything you could do about it. You couldn't move. You couldn't go chase someone because you couldn't get anywhere.
It seemed like there was kegs in every aisle of the ballpark that night, you know, because everybody was drunk.
I said, you ought to have the pot concession.
Goddamn, Harry Carey.
Well, this was in Chicago, so.
Harry Carey's there. I thought he was the Cubs announcer. This is the fucking White
Sox. But it's Chicago. I mean, it's right down the street.
Chicago.
I think there must be a master load of pot here in this ballpark.
I'm going to smoke it all.
That you brought tonight. We got them in a giant box.
They do have the giant, like, dumpster box, like, with a top on it and everything.
And we're going to blow them up real good.
What are they blowing them with? What are they blowing them up with?
I don't know. But
it's the 70s. It's probably C4 and shit. Can you imagine if we were able to get a hold of C4 back in the day? We would have blew our fucking hands off. That was us.
Like, how would we have been able to get a hold of C4, though? That's the question.
Dude, Terry Funk and them got a hold of it with ease in, like, 1995.
Well, that was in Japan, too.
I guess there it is a little different.
Yeah, they sell that in vending machines over there, right?
That side of the
shit, I was trying. Yeah, that's a hell of a
panties.
drop. How do you get that in vending machines? It drops it down. Shit. Okay, we're good.
A claw machine.
Yeah. Here we go.
They were supposed to just put him into a bin for Steve Dahl to blow up, but obviously people brought more than one.
Even before the game started, people were flinging records all over the place.
The first disc that was thrown missed me by a couple of inches.
This is Rusty Torres, White Sox outfielder.
For 1 year. Missed the right side of my head by a couple of inches.
It was a real dangerous situation. I mean, I couldn't understand why they didn't delay the game.
They're going, Rusty, disco, you know, Sox something real loud, and we're going to kill disco today. Disco is dead when it's in that. And I'm going, no, I was just in discotheque last night. How are you going to achieve that, right?
The Tigers won Game 1 4-1. Then it was time
their
for
uniforms
Steve
were
Dahl.
shitty as fuck.
Yeah,
back
they looked
then.
horrible.
They looked like jogging pants and a t-shirt.
Playing in July, too.
Yeah.
Some sweaty motherfuckers.
Jockey to blow up some records. He took to the field in a Jeep at the command of his ragged army.
He's fucking Zeke Highland there. What's that about?
Conquering hero as he seized the microphone.
All these clowns who paid 98 cents to get in the ballpark were going to have their moment of glory. I thought it would happen very rapidly.
1, 2, 3, boom!
Jesus! It might have been C4, Josh. That was a huge explosion.
How did I mean, imagine what the fire marshal thought.
Fire marshal probably wasn't there.
Probably not. Or he turned in a record too to get in. You know, shrapnel had to fucking went all over the crowd.
Dude, that was huge. That was like a huge bin of records.
A dumpster.
That blowed up real good.
There was a flash and a stream of broken albums, like
Everybody just was stunned.
Goddamn dumpster
Center
flew
field
apart.
disappeared. I mean, there was a crater in center field. Unbelievable.
A crater in
With the
center
crate
field.
and its contents in shards on the outfield grass, Dahl enjoyed a victory lap of sorts and left the field. He could not have known that disco demolition was just getting started. As White Sox pitcher Ken Kravik went to the mound to warm up for the second game.
Yeah, we got another baseball game.
We're going to have to get some pea gravel out here to put in this fucking hole. This is bullshit.
I thought it was at the warning track. I was technically about 15 feet from it.
They determined if they would have made it at the warning track, that at least the first row would have died right there in front in center field.
I love how the announcer just took a last, like, yay, we did it. See y'all later. And the pitcher's coming out to warm up.
Few fans abandoned their seats and headed for the field.
All of a sudden, one person right on the field and another.
Left field, right field, box seats.
It was almost like a bunch of lemmings.
It just was like the floodgates opened up.
We saw that there was no security stopping us, and we just said, hey, let's do it.
So basically 3 assholes ran onto the field and slid into second while the pitcher was warming up.
So everybody else followed
So
suit.
everybody was like, hey, they didn't stop those assholes. So they just... But if you notice, security's out in the outfield trying to clean up the explosion.
Maybe should have had the grounds crew do that, huh?
Yeah.
But really, what is 12 security guards going to do
If 70,000 people storm the field?
stampeding the motherfucker?
Yeah, I mean,
there's
that's
nothing you can do.
That's the risk you're taking normally whenever, there is a event. Because, you look at some of these big events like football stadiums. Like, if everybody in that stadium just decided to come down to the field,
Yeah.
what you going to do about it?
Well, I remember I was at the show in Memphis back in '98 whenever Korn got banned from Memphis. They couldn't perform in Memphis for a long time.
Yeah.
And it was at the Mid-South Coliseum. And
Mid-South Coliseum.
Literally, dude, at the very least, 1,000 people bum rushed that were in the stands to get on the fucking floor. And as soon as right before Korn came on stage, it's like everybody just bum rushed the shit out of the ground floor. And I remember Dwayne, I went with him, and he was like, well, unless they're going to check the tickets for all these motherfuckers, there ain't nothing they're going to be able to do.
Right.
And there wasn't. They just continued with the show with the instead of 1,000 people being on the floor, it was like 2,500. It was fucking crazy.
Oh, man. But I mean, that happens a lot. I think everybody just assumes when you go to one of these events.
What do you think Vince would do at WrestleMania if like half of the stands just say, I'm gonna go down here?
Well, they kind of did a gimmick type thing with Daniel Bryan with the Hijack Raw thing.
Yeah.
Where they had everybody jump in the ring and everything. But like in real life, if somebody wanted to do that,
you're not going to stop the show.
You're not going to be able to. Well, no. I mean, they'd probably switch over to now let's look at some old highlights from Mr. Perfect. It's like, it's just out of the blue. You see like SummerSlam 92.
The perfect friend. The perfect friend.
SummerSlam 92 pops up on your screen. Oh, man. But yeah, I mean, honestly, if they wanted to jump out there, there's nothing that, and in this day and age when everybody's been cooped up for 3 months, I wouldn't put it past them to try to jump out in a wrestling ring.
So you're thinking that's the next thing, huh? When they start letting the fans back in, that's what's going to happen?
They're going to lose their damn minds. Yeah,
it'd be
probably.
better than the bullshit that they've had out there with the fake bullshit chants. And I didn't watch Backlash, but
I didn't watch it either.
I heard enough about it to know there was one match of interest that I wanted to watch, and I still haven't went back and watched it.
What, the Randy Orton one?
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, I've heard
really
a lot of good things
stuff
about that one. But
aside from that one match, I've heard it was absolute dog shit.
Well, I know somebody had posted something on Twitter about how, they're giving all these developmental talent like shirts to wear.
Yeah.
And this one woman that's in the crowd is wearing a shirt for the Iconics. And they've got the Iconics out there, and she's booing them. And they're like, "Yeah, we knew this was going to happen. We just didn't know, how long it would take."
Big Swole bullshit. My God, have we talked about that on
We
this show?
did.
Oh, that still pisses me off. I wish that her ass could have been in like the 1980s or something, and then Ole Anderson have to face her when she comes back. I bet Ole would have went out there and just snatched her up. You stupid cunt! Goddamn, you're trying to get yourself over. What the fuck are you doing out there? I mean, she would have been. It would have been over for
Here's
her.
where I feel like we're in
But
the
then-
minority, Josh, because everybody seemed to be okay with it.
Well, everybody don't know what that business is all about.
But here's the thing, too. You've got nothing but wrestlers out there.
Even if you're a smart wrestler and
Yeah.
you've been trained properly, you know
Oh,
when
yeah.
the time to get yourself over and when the time just to play your part is.
Right.
That was not the fucking time.
Yeah, you don't want to look at the biggest like hill that they've built up in the company and be like,
Bingo.
you ain't shit.
Bingo. And she was doing it the whole fucking night.
And here's the greatest thing about AEW. They brought it up on the show later, and they were like,
Just see
look.
what Big Swole was doing?
It's like-
she was really getting her character out there.
Yeah.
Oh, goddamn. Save me that fucking bullshit. She was she was went into business for herself.
Because there's
and that's the
no
bottom
there's
line.
no win there if you're the Murder Hawk. Because what are you gonna do? You gonna kick her in the face? You can't do that.
Kind of like you versus my dad. What
Yeah.
do you win?
What do you? There's no winning. You can't win because you can't hit a woman.
Can't believe he did that.
And you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing that you can do in that situation. You just come off looking bad. So, I mean, of course she shouldn't be scared. He's not going to hit her.
Exactly. It's just like being at the scary place or the scary house
Yeah.
during Halloween time. You know
The
they're not
scary
going to touch
place.
you. You know they're not going to
The
touch
haunted
you.
houses?
Yeah, whatever
Is
they're
that the
called.
words?
I ain't been in a long time. But you know that they're not going to touch you. They're not going to do anything. So you might as well just walk at your own pace.
Well, we'll get back into baseball here, Josh, because I thought this was an even better story. So, even longer ago, 84, 94, 2004, 2014.
It would be
46 years ago and 2 weeks.
46, and 2 weeks ago.
On June 4th of 1974, the Cleveland Browns, or I'm sorry, not the Cleveland
Indians.
Browns, the Cleveland Indians held 10-cent beer night.
Same, really.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah.
10-cent beer night, Josh. Like, this story I've heard about, like, from different people about how crazy it got. But one of the funniest things I heard was this one guy was asked, said, how many beers have you had tonight? And he said, well, I came here with $2 in my pocket. You do the math. So the Cleveland Indians were trying to hold, baseball in June. It's still kind of like meh. You know what I mean? There's, it's like
halfway
week 5 of the NFL season. Nobody knows what's going to happen at week 5. So,
of course, this would be like week 27 in the MLB.
out of like week 170 something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's glorious.
So that's why I was saying week 5. We're going to play 7 games during the day. It's like, shit. How am I supposed to watch every game? No, you can't. That's part of being a baseball fan. It makes you want it more.
Got to TiVo it. Or find you an illegal link.
Yeah, because, it might be blacked out in your local market.
I've never had a problem finding Braves game on Reddit.
Yeah.
AEW's a different story.
On June 4th, 1974, the Cleveland Browns, damn it, the Cleveland Indians.
Is that what you see when you see Indians?
I just see Cleveland, and then my mind goes Cleveland Browns, because I'm not a baseball fan. So, 10-cent beer night. The club intended to offer as much as 8-ounce straws beer as the fans could drink, and for only 10 cents a pop.
8-ounce ponies. At least they wasn't 12s.
Yeah. I did hear that they were like 3.4% alcohol, like the beer was.
Yeah.
Now some
Which is, about mid-range, because I think Bud Ice is like 5.5, and Bud Light would be about 2.2, 2.3, something like that.
And this is coming from Bleacher Report, by the way. And it says, now for some background. Before the Indians played the Texas Rangers that night, 6 days earlier, there was a bench-clearing brawl between the two teams at Arlington Stadium in Texas. In the fourth inning of the game, Texas player Tom Grieve, is that Grieve? Gravy?
We'll go with that.
Grieve?
Grieve.
Tom Grieve was walked. Tom Grieve was walked, Lenny Randle hit a single, and the next batter hit a ground ball to Indians third baseman John Lowenstein, who stepped on third and threw to second, but the play was disrupted by a hard slide from Randle. Matt Wilcox, the pitcher for the Cleveland Indians in the 8th inning, retaliated by throwing a ball behind Randle's head. Randle bunted as Wilcox retrieved the ball, and he tried to tag him. Randle forearmed Wilcox.
What a talented motherfucker Randle was, right? He gets a ball thrown behind his ass, and he's still able to bunt.
He turns and does like this Michael Jackson spin and bunts it, and then forearm shivers a guy that tries to tag him. Some badass shit. Indians first baseman John Ellis then proceeded to punch Randle, resulting in a brawl. Okay, now to 10-cent beer night. Now, one thing I did hear was they did ask the Texas manager, were they worried about going into a hostile environment with 10-cent beer night? And his comment was, well, that's Cleveland. They don't have that many fans anyways.
Ooh.
Yeah. So early in the game,
they showed up in droves.
Yeah. Early in the game, the Texas Rangers had a 5-1 lead. Meanwhile, the intoxicated crowd continuously misbehaved. This included a woman running on to the Indians on deck circle and flashing her breast trying to kiss the umpire. And a naked man running onto the field and sliding into second base as Grieve hit his second home run of the game. Man, I don't know. What is it about running naked that just doesn't appear like
it's like
happiness to me? And for me to run naked would be like, that just seems like
it seems
pain.
like that's the go-to thing if you're going to bum rush the field.
Slide into second.
Well, I mean, why
especially
you
in
do
the
it
70s.
Nude? Why nude?
Get a strawberry on your ball bag.
Oh man, I can't imagine.
As a father and son ran onto the outfield and
Father
mooned
and son. Father and son.
And mooned the fans in the bleachers. The ugliness of the game took a turn for the worst when Leron Lee of Cleveland hit a line drive that hit Rangers pitcher Ferguson Jenkins in the stomach, causing him to fall to the ground. Fans in the upper deck of the Municipal Stadium chanted, "Hit him again! Hit him again! Harder! Harder!" As the game continued, the fans continued to cause problems, including throwing hot dogs and spitting at Texas's Mike Hargrove and flinging fireworks at the Texas dugout.
Holy shit. Can you imagine in the fucking ultra sensitive environment that we live in now, if even half of this shit was done?
Yeah.
Oh my God. They would never have a baseball game ever again in that stadium.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure Hank Williams Jr. was banned from Jackson for less than this.
Definitely.
So he was banned from Jackson for a while.
I remember that.
Yeah. So I saw that they said they flung fireworks in the Texas dugout. It was cherry bombs.
Holy shit.
It was like basically C4.
Tiny C4. Oh. Good for them.
It's like, that was the question too. It's like, why are you just bringing fireworks to a baseball game?
I knew
and how did you get them cleared in?
I knew I was going to be fucked up tonight, and I'd probably do some fucked up shit. So I brought the cherry bombs. I was going to put them in the toilet, but I figured them Rangers were looking like assholes.
Hargrove, the Texas manager, Hargrove of Texas, was almost hit by a gallon jug of Thunderbird.
Now, that's a waste of alcohol right there.
In the bottom of the ninth.
A gallon? Who's bringing a gallon? Talk about getting fireworks in. I can see stuffing them down the pants. How are you getting a gallon jug of fucking alcohol in through security? How's that happening?
So the other story I heard about this was he got into the dugout with the Thunderbird, and the Hargrove looked at him and said, "Son, give me that bottle and get out of our dugout." And he handed it to him and left. In the bottom of the ninth, Cleveland tied the game up at 5. However, after 9 innings of consuming amazing amounts of alcohol, the situation took a turn for the worse. Like, how can we go any worse? Like, we're already to the point where we're throwing fucking cherry bombs in to the... Now, I would watch this baseball game.
There's been like 8 nude people.
Yeah.
Think about the TV announcers alone.
Oh, they cut the feed.
Oh, there's like, we're not showing any more of this shit.
They cut the feed after like people started getting rowdy.
Wow.
That sucks because I wish there was video more of this somewhere.
It's somewhere.
Yeah. But would you watch a baseball game like this?
I watch a baseball game anyway.
Even
if it was like this,
a fan like me, like a guy that isn't a fan.
Oh yeah, I'd point this game to you. If you want to watch baseball,
kind of like
how
we used to point out how like, no, wrestling's real. Look at this IWA deathmatch tape.
Tell me this ain't real.
And then like we'd show that to people, and they're like, well, obviously
Holy
this
shit.
is different. Or you would be like, you don't like baseball, it's boring, huh? Watch this shit.
Right.
Was that a pair of nipples?
Fucking the most extreme of extreme.
Right. In the ninth inning, a fan tried to steal Rangers player's Jeff Burrows hat. And confronting the fan, Burrows tripped and fell to the ground. Texas manager Billy Martin believing
he was
that
a wrestling guy. Remember?
Was he?
He was always the well, at least on WrestleMania. I think it was 1. He was one of the guests. Him and Liberace.
Oh yeah.
Billy Martin,
believing the Burrows was attacked, charged onto the field with his players right behind him, some wielding bats.
Holy shit. This is the 70s.
But most of the intoxicated fans had knives, chains, and portions of the stadium seats that they had ripped off.
Billy, we going out to the field now. Get that top section of that seat. God damn.
The manager of the Indians, Ken Esparmane, however you say that, realizing that some of the Rangers players' lives were in danger, told his players to grab bats and help out.
Beat the people that are beating people for you.
Yeah. So now you have the Rangers and the Indians both playing this game, and they're like, all right, we got to stop battling each other and battle these drunks. Rioters then began throwing folding chairs, one of which hit Cleveland reliever Tom Hellendorf in the head. Hargrove was involved in a fist fight with a fan and had to fight another one when making his way back to the Rangers dugout.
Kind of makes you feel like all them old wrestling riot stories wasn't shit, right? Because it would just be a section of the crowd attacking the people.
Yeah.
This is like the whole goddamn stadium versus the two teams.
Among those involved was Rusty Torres, who was on second base at the time of the riot, and was.
This is the one that we just listened to. Talking about, this motherfucker almost hit me with a wax record,
right?
In Cleveland. Can you imagine how jaded he is about baseball?
It's like, fuck baseball.
Baseball's fucking crazy.
I hate it. I love how they make this sound. Among those involved was Rusty Torres, who was on second base at the time of the riot and was the winning run. Like, we're still keeping score at this point. Torres already had a brawl experience, having been in the brawl during the Yankees-Senators game, which was the Senators' last in Washington. So this man, I think it was all Rusty Torres.
Probably so, the instigator.
The bases were stolen and never returned.
Take that, Ricky Henderson. You ain't shit.
Yeah, the rioters. Yeah, you gave back those bases after you stole them. And the rioters pelted the players with cups, rocks, bottles, hot dogs, radio batteries, popcorn containers, and folding chairs.
Think about being like that one outfielder for the fucking Rangers, and like you're getting batteries and rocks and shit thrown,
Right.
which then you're getting hot dogs. You're like, what do I dodge? This is fucking weird.
Oh, man. A riot squad eventually showed up and ended the brawl. Umpire Nestor Kylik called the game. I don't know why. Why would he have called the game, Josh? I don't know. Because maybe the damn bases were missing. We're going to draw one here on the dirt and finish this game out. We only got a couple more outs. What did you say, Shellac? Shellac himself had been cut in the head with a stadium seat, but has also suffered a cut in his hand from a flying rock. The American League president said of the game, there was no question that beer played a part in the riot.
You think?
The Indians had scheduled 3 more of these beer nights, changed it from unlimited beer to 4 beers per person for the rest of the promotion. I do remember that the guy who come up with this idea, they were talking to him and said he was just sure he was going to get fired. And he walked in to the manager's office, and the manager basically told him, the owner told him, all right, handed him a plane ticket, and he was like, "What in the world's this?" And he goes, "All right, you need to go down to Detroit. You need to go up to Detroit. They're doing a 10-cent beer night. Find out how they do it." So I guess the way they did it was limit the beers. I do want to point out, Josh, if I can get the story pulled up, and then we'll be probably pretty much done for this. Speaking of over-serving and beer, a local story, Josh, as I saw this yesterday from our own Memphis Zoo, one of the better zoos in the whole U.S. I think they're the ones that even have the panda, a couple years back.
In the top 5 zoos in the United States.
Story from Fox News 13 here in Memphis. The Memphis Zoo will begin selling alcohol during business hours.
I mean, why not?
I can see where this could go bad, though.
Hey, you fucking crocodile! I'll show you.
Throwing cherry bombs at the pandas.
Or God forbid, your kid's acting up, and you're just like, "Oh, fuck it! Why don't you go act up with him?" Throwing the goddamn bear cage.
There are already people out there. All right, let me finish the story. The Tennessee House voted Thursday to allow alcohol sales during regular business hours. The bill passed the House with 60 votes. 60 votes yes, 22 no votes, and 4 present votes but not voting. The bill had already cleared the Senate. Republican state senator sponsored the bill back in December. Before the bill, alcohol was allowed only for fundraising and special events. The zoo must get a permit, but this allows for alcohol to be sold from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. throughout the year.
Well, I mean, what's better with your fucking Dippin' Dots on a hot day than a gin and tonic, right?
I'm gonna go get Long Island iced tea, watch these fucking otters.
But it probably won't change anything, because
I feel like you're gonna have a lot more liquid courage in people to jump that rail.
Because my point is, have you ever bought anything from the zoo?
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to get like a tiny stuffed animal, it's like $15. Can you imagine what a mixed drink is going to cost?
Oh, God,
you're going to have to be a silk underwear wearing motherfucker just to get a Long Island iced tea. You're like, how much? Well, goddamn,
$47.
Let me put it on my charge card. Shit,
motherfucker. Oh man, but here's what I'm thinking. The ones that will be able to buy the alcohol are the dicks that would jump in the cage. The ones that have the God complex.
Right.
I got more money than God. I'm better than God. I'm going to beat up that fucking tiger. Can tigers get drunk off of your blood?
I don't see why not.
If you're drunk and a tiger eats you, can he get drunk? Or is it like, how does that work?
Maybe not me personally, but somebody like, just like a raging alcoholic.
Yeah.
Why not? It's in your bloodstream.
I don't know. I feel like it's a good idea and a bad idea.
I mean,
you know what I mean? I can see it ending poorly.
Yeah, for some people, but those are the people.
We need to weed them out anyway.
Well, those are the people that are going to eventually buy Lamborghinis and wrap them around telephone poles anyways. So,
man.
One way or another, right?
Josh coming in hot today. Well.
Survival of the fittest.
Fuck them. That's what I say.
Survival of the fittest, my brother.
Silk-tie motherfuckers. You need to die.
I didn't say that.
Oh, well, Josh, over 2 hours of P3 Radio this week with the pre-show and this show. We'd like to thank Mr. Dobbs, Elijah Dobbs, for joining us today. And, Josh, if they want to check out our show or give us a call or follow us on Facebook or Twitter, what do they need to do?
Well, I'm going to tell you, if you want to get in touch with us, evidently SoundCloud is not the way to go. But if you do want to get a swift reply from us, I would suggest going to Twitter, if you're on Twitter, and we are at P3 Radio, #1 on there. And on Facebook, put in that search bar Pop Poncho, and you will find our profile. And if you want to get with us the old-fashioned way, like Granny communicates with each other, our telephone number is 731-300-6675.
Well, that's going to do it for us. For Josh Briley, this is Rich Mulligan saying thanks for listening, and good night.